Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Virgo April 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is as far as April goes, the sun will be in Aries from the 1st until the 20th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this point in time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on transformation, rebirth, regeneration, sex, the intimate, perhaps intimate relationships, sexual relationships, shared resources, moral, emotional, and monetary support. It may even be on debts. It could be also too, it could be on surgery in some cases. This could also be perhaps with some matters with astrology. If you're you're obviously into astrology if you're watching this, I'm sure, for most of you anyway. But also matters connected with psychology perhaps as well, and even insurance, and even perhaps inheritance. Now, the thing about this too, is that given this is Aries energy, this could be done with a lot of assertive energy, a lot of aggressive energy and fortitude and courage. You're apt to have very little procrastination or hesitation in 8th house matters at this time. Could be with a lot of more confrontational energy than usual. There could be a focusing on perhaps standing up for somebody that you're in an intimate or sexual relationship with, or even in a shared resources situation at this time. And remember too, though, that Aries energy could be very impatient and impulsive. So just be really kind of look before you leap as far as 8th house matters go. And also too, this in some cases this could shine the light perhaps on some kind of Aries, a surgical matter that you maybe need some surgery on something Aries related, such as something with the head or the face. And remember, the sun also rules the left or the right eye depending on gender. So it could be some issues with the eye that might need some surgery on perhaps. And given this is, and like I said, it could be the left or right eye depending on gender. And the fact that it's Aries energy could be something maybe like a burning, something connected with a burning sensation or fiery type sensation going on with one of the eyes at this time. So anyway, and especially if this is at a point when it makes an inconjunct to the ascendant, and that could actually increase that propensity for those issues. Now, anyway, next thing up. The sun will be in Taurus as far as April goes from the 20th until the 30th. So the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on philosophy, religion, higher education, publishing, in-laws, grandchildren, traveling abroad, global communications. It could even this is really, given that this is Taurus energy, this could be done with a lot of persistence, a lot of patience and perseverance. It could be done also, too, in a very methodical and deliberate manner, but very ponderous energy as well. Unlike the Aries energy, there's really more thought and really more pondering before actually acting on many of these things as far as 9th house matters go. Now, also too, and given it that it is Taurus energy, very, and as I say, we're very deliberate, plotting, very methodical energy at this time. And this could also, this could be something too, which could really, it could shine the light on maybe the case of the stubborns or an obstinate in-law or grandchild at this time. So anyway, and also you could really do something. This is about putting a lot of creative energy perhaps into publishing, but done with it, and as I stated before, very methodical, deliberate manner. And it could be something that could be connected with the zodiac sign Taurus. So anyway, next thing up, there will be a new moon in Aries on April 5th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, well, this could indicate in some cases perhaps just a new period where you take where you have a lot of initiative and enterprise, perhaps in making a major change or transformation, or showing really unbridled courage and fortitude in dealing with a crisis situation. Now, it could also be the time too where you might, if you're not connected with anyone, you're not in a relationship at this time, Virgo, that you might embark on an Aries intimate or sexual relationship at this time. It could be with an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aries characteristics. Could be a new period, start of some psychological warfare, perhaps, but it could also be a time where, again, you may take a lot of this assertive and aggressive Aries energy into something 8th house related, such as maybe doing something with astrology, or anything, or something else with the occult or supernatural, or even something with recycling, or anything that's connected with transformation. This is something that really, I mean, you're talking about when you have the new moon in Aries, it's really the new moon in Aries, it's really perfect as far as the new moon energy goes, because the new moon is about new beginnings, initiating things, about enterprise, and having a lot of this vigorous energy. And it's very, really, it's a time where you have where you feel really rejuvenated, revitalized. Aries is a sign, of course, about new beginnings. It's the first sign of the zodiac, so it is connected with those new beginnings, and it is an energetic sign. It may be the most energetic. I think Leo and Aries are actually the most energetic of all the zodiac signs. But anyway, going off a little bit on Gemini moon tangent here, but next thing up, there will be a full moon in Libra on April 19th, so the 2nd house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, this could be one way this may manifest. This could be about the end of perhaps a Libra money-making endeavor. It could be something with graphic art, design. It could be anything else connected with art, such as drawing, painting, or sculpting. Perhaps a law field, such as working as an attorney, a lawyer, a paralegal, a judge, a bailiff, a court reporter. Now, could also be a period where maybe you feel like you've reached a point where you have your fair amount, an equitable amount, so to speak, of self-esteem and self-worth. Now, full moon in astrology can also signify a period where one may become tired, full, or exasperated at someone or situation. Now, in some cases, this could be perhaps somebody that you might see as somewhat superficial or overly passive, even indolent or complacent, somebody overly ambivalent or indecisive. It could be a person perhaps at the place you generate income with. It might also be a person that might have figured prominently in your self-worth or self-esteem at this time as well. Now, it could also in some cases be about, full moons can often be about revelations and unveilings. This could be in some cases perhaps the revelation or unveiling of some kind of criminal record, perhaps of somebody that works at the place where you make money, or somebody that has figured strongly in your resources, your possessions. And also, too, in some cases, too, this could be a time where this could be about justice being served once and for all, and it could be something connected, say, with something with your, it could be over a monetary situation. It could be over funds that were stolen, or something connected perhaps with your possessions or your resources, perhaps, and especially, say, if this is making good aspects, especially, say, for example, if this makes a sextile or trine to your natal Jupiter, could be very fortuitous for that. And I mean, it's just something really, those are some ways that this could manifest. Now, the next thing up, Mercury will be in Pisces as far as April goes, from the 1st until the 17th. So the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, one way this may manifest, this could be about rather ambiguous and cryptic communications, perhaps with a grandmother, a significant other, a marriage partner. It could even be with perhaps people that it could be with attorneys, perhaps if you're embroiled in some legal matter. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, as I've stated in previous videos, Mercury can also be about siblings. It's not just about communication. This could be a time, too, when you're talking about, this could be about Pisces siblings. It could be Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Pisces characteristics. Might figure perhaps prominently in legal matters and could be in competition or negotiation, or even perhaps dealing with open adversaries, perhaps at this time as well. It could be something too, I mean, when you look at this, I mean, Mercury can also be about thieves. So it's an important time. I mean, Pisces thieves, I mean, obviously, I mean, when you're talking about Pisces energy and thieves, it could be difficult because Pisces is a sign, of course, that's very deceptive and duplicitous. They're about camouflage, and it's harder to detect this energy when you're talking about Pisces. And so it's really careful. I mean, if you're dealing with some kind of legal opponent, or you're dealing with somebody, I mean, this could even be an open adversary that could just be acting like, I'm going to make this compromise with you or negotiation, and they wind up, really, doing something to gain friendly with you, and actually wind up at some point maybe taking something from you, perhaps in some isolated cases. Or it could also be about very beguiling energy in terms of negotiation. Somebody trying to negotiate something with you and make some kind of compromise and make it sound like you're getting a really good deal, but you have to make sure you read the fine print with this Pisces energy. Could also be about thinking more idealistically and maybe even unrealistically in some cases regarding open enemies or legal opponents, or even matters with the grandmother perhaps, or even a significant other or marriage partner. So, and this is really, I mean, it's a lot of times it's very difficult to see the details with Pisces energy. And also when you're talking about Mercury and Pisces in the 7th house, it could be about difficult in terms of mentally deciphering the character composition of others. And of course, if you have adverse aspects, this makes to points in your natal chart can make it even worse and exacerbate this energy. If this is making, or say, for example, if you have, like, say, transit Neptune making an adverse aspect to your natal Mercury, it could amplify this kind of energy, and it makes you to a point where it makes it even harder for you to even see certain things clearly. Or even if transit Neptune, let's say, is making even a conjunction to your natal Mercury in your own chart. So anyway, next thing up. Well, as far as April goes, Mercury will be in Aries from the 17th until the 30th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, well, unlike the Mercury and Pisces energy, Mercury in Aries, of course, could be very direct, forthright, and very outspoken. This could be a time where your communications, perhaps with a sexual partner or someone you're in an intimate relationship with, or a person you're in a shared resources scenario with, could be very outspoken, very direct, very much to the point, not mincing words. And really, it's something, too, where you might really have a lot of original and pioneering thinking in connection with 8th house matters, such as the astrology, the occult, supernatural, or something, anything that could be 8th house related. It could be something, too, where you look at this. I mean, Mercury, as I stated before, can also be about siblings. This could be about Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant siblings or ones that embody Aries characteristics might figure strongly in you making a major change or transformation, or helping you deal with some kind of crisis in some situations. It could be also, too, given it's the 8th house, it could be in matters with shared resources or some kind of emotional, monetary, or moral support. Now, whether they're to your detriment or more beneficial to you, a lot of that could be predicated and dependent on aspects. This makes 2 points in your natal chart. Now, I mean, if this is something where, I mean, let's say it makes an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn, they may be somewhat to your detriment and might be causing some kind of sorrow or dejection or despondency in these in those matters, and might be causing you to maybe, you know, as far as your resources situation goes, that they might be taking more than actually giving you, and causing you to have restrictions in the things that you do own. Now, could also be too, I mean, Mercury can also be about thieves. So this is something where, I mean, and you're talking about Aries, it's very direct. And now it could be in matters with, you know, if you're in a shared resources situation with someone, it might be important to be careful at this time. But remember that the Mercury, you're talking about Aries energy, again, could be very, very direct. There's not going to be anything that's going to be really much deceptive about this energy. It could even be somebody in the form of someone you're in a sexual or intimate or close connection with at this time. So anyway, and also too, given that this is Mercury and Aries energy, a lot of these 8th house matters may be done with very little premeditation, and because the energy is very quick, and it's not like ponderous like Taurus energy, for example, or as premeditative as Capricorn. So anyway, last but not least, as far as April goes, Venus will be in Pisces from the 1st until the 20th. So the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, well, in some cases, if you're unattached at this time, Virgo, this might manifest perhaps in it could be a Pisces connection, which might lead to like a marriage partner, significant other situation. It could be with a Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Pisces-like characteristics. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, could also be a time where this may manifest perhaps in valuing a lot of self-sacrifice and altruism and compassion for others in general. It could even be for a grandmother, a significant other, a marriage partner. This could be also too about really feelings of forgiveness toward open adversaries at this time. It's a lot of this could be about this forgiving energy of your enemies. And also too, when you're talking about Venus and Pisces energy, this is a time where people collectively could be a little bit more susceptible, I believe, to financial fraud or deception. And when you're talking about the 7th house, this could be with others in general. So it's very important to really be very careful at this time, Virgo, as far as this goes. And could also be for somebody in a 7th house profession. It could even be from somebody even you might even trust very well, such as like an attorney, or somebody that is in some kind of law, any law profession, or it could be an arbitrator, somebody that works in some kind of negotiation. So anyway, and also too, I mean, when you're talking about Pisces energy, this is more where you might feel a little bit more like relaxing as opposed to making money doing something Pisces related, such as something with the metaphysical, which can include astrology or poetry, dancing, photography, chemistry. This could be, given it's a 7th house, it could be relaxing just with others in general, as opposed to collaborating on something Pisces related to in order to generate income and make money. And now this relaxing energy, especially say I mean, let's say, for example, if you're having transit Neptune making an adverse aspect to your sun, moon, or ascendant, you're going to be in general more relaxed mode, more lethargic than usual. And even, if you have, say, if this is even if Venus, this transit Venus is making an adverse aspect to your sun, to your ascendant, or even Mars, it could be a thing where you're just feeling, you have more of that feeling like just kind of just really just kind of being in stagnation, so to speak, as opposed to actually doing something. And as far as, as I talk about the example, before, Mars, very, very similar. If you're having transit, say, Neptune making an adverse aspect to your natal Mars or your sun or your ascendant, it's very similar, except with the Venus, a lot of the differences with the Venus energy, it's more about maybe the loafing as opposed to actually going out and generating income, where that's really kind of the, looking at that could be a little bit of the difference there. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. As far as my Virgo April 2019 horoscope forecast goes, part 1 of 2. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my Virgo April 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.